bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. Good afternoon and welcome. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 100.7 The Score mobile app, and on the television, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, your Roku's, Apple TV, 950 on your AM dial. Lots of ways to take us in, however you've chosen to do so. We are glad that you've decided to make us part of your Tuesday afternoon. We being myself, Chois, Woodman, alongside Trent, Hilliard, who joins us in the First United Bank studio. Lucas White across the way taking care of us. You can also hit us up. You got thoughts, comments, questions, bring them all in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score app, which you can carry anywhere with you, even listening out in Pocahontas, Oregon.
Pocahontas.
Did you ever watch the movie?
I don't think I ever have.
You had two daughters. You didn't watch the movie.
I know. It was maybe a little bit before their time.
Okay.
Pocahontas.
Fair enough. So, Trent, how's it feel? You're in your last week of school.
Yes.
It's feel good, right?
Yeah, wrapping things up and got semester exams, which are few and far between now.
Sure.
Most kids are exempt, and but have those Thursday and Friday. And then we graduate all of our kids on Sunday.
You just got done with the graduation too, right?
Yes. My youngest daughter graduated from Tech, giving us all four in our family complete the Red Raider graduation cycle. And so yeah, that was exciting for her and all of us. So
that's great. They're off the books now. So
well, she's an art major, so maybe not.
She's an art major. So there's a few options, like be good at art, go back to school again, and live with mom and dad. So,
right.
I mean,
She's extremely talented, but getting into that art niche, I guess, where you can actually make money doing that is probably going to be a little bit of a process.
Sure.
So, but
Sure.
yeah, we'll see what the future holds. She's applied to a few graduate schools and internships and some different things like that. So, we want to see her continue with what she loves to do, and she's good at it. So,
all right. So that's that's fun. You got an artsy one and a sportsy one.
We do. We've got. And my wife is where they get the art part of it.
Okay.
She's the rare breed, the mixed brain. She's got the art side, but she's also an accountant.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah, she's got that rare right and left brain working at the same time, and which is good. She balances out me. I'm not sure if I have any brain working out most of the time. So maybe that's we were meant to be for that purpose as well.
We got plenty we'll get into over the next 3 hours or so. Of course, during our show yesterday, the news about Brendan Sorsby comes out about the injunction. Now that I've had time to read through a lot more of that's not on air. Pretty interesting stuff. We'll go through some of the quotes and the stuff in that injunction, the affidavit, stuff like that. What this means for Texas Tech, Sorsby. All of the above. Does this change feelings on our feelings on whether he plays or not? We'll get into all of that. Will Hammond news comes basically at the exact same time that Will Hammond could be ready at the start of the season type of stuff. Joey McGuire says he expects him to be ready by game number 3 of the season, so that changes timelines and outlooks on things. What do you think of the timing of all that? Where is that Texas Tech it's like, okay, let's not cover up, but let's push out some positive news along with the Sorsby stuff. I mean, this is kind of peculiar.
Well, especially since Tech had gone through the process. He's ineligible, but we're working to get him eligible.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, the guy that we were looking at last year to be our starter is looking more and more like he's going to be ready to go.
Yeah. So all very interesting stuff from yesterday. We'll get into that. We can talk some softball today. We could talk some baseball. Red Raiders in the Big 12 tournament. Could be the last day of the season. Hopefully I say that for 5 consecutive days. I don't expect it to happen. Tech has 13 pitchers currently active for what you need for 5 days. That would be a minor miracle if you were able to pull anything off, but we've seen crazy things happen before.
Just have one go 7, bring in another to finish off the last 2, and
that's
it's all good. It's simple.
Just do that, rinse and repeat 5 times.
Sounds good.
Heck, how about you just run rule teams in 7 innings?
There you go.
You preserve arms even more.
Save 2 innings.
If we're gonna dream, we might as well dream. Just go for it. No, but it is a team. Red Raiders taking on BYU tonight. A team that is probably the best draw of the 4 teams that are the 3 other teams that are available because you have confidence against them in recent weeks. So that's something this team seems to have lacked in the back half of the season is confidence. So I'm not going to sit here and sunshine pump and act like that I think this team's going to go win it all.
Things are that bad, huh, Chois?
I mean, I'm the eternal optimist, and I guess it's not so eternal. But I do think that you could win a couple games here and feel better about your team. Get above 500 or at or above 500. Right. Tech enters at 500. So if you want to finish above 500 or at, you have to win at least a game in this Big 12 tournament. But that'll be coming up later this evening. Red Raiders and Brigham Young coming your way at it'll be 6:30. I had so much trouble with this time thing because, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
Well, Arizona messes it up.
That's
because
what throws
Arizona
me
doesn't do
what time of year it is.
Daylight savings time. So sometimes they're just an hour difference, and then sometimes they're 2 hours difference.
So we're in Central Daylight Time right now, and they've got it listed as Mountain Standard Time.
Right.
And that's what threw me off because I'm used to Mountain Time just being an hour off of us. And I went through way too much trying to figure it out yesterday. But we got it. They're 2 hours off.
Because Arizona doesn't change theirs. They're one step ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. Just
get a time, and let's stick with it. And stop moving and saving daylight or whatever it is.
You're in that camp. I'm for where we're at right now. Daylight savings time all the time for everybody. Just leave it.
Yeah, I would like to see it left alone.
Just leave it right there. I'm with you.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy to be part of your Tuesday afternoon. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Presented by Happy State Bank. Y'all keep hitting us up. We welcome your thoughts and comments on the Yates Point Center chat line. Pour those in as you see fit. If you got topics you want to get into, more than welcome to submit those. All right, let's see. Where do these come from? Got to make sure I get these. Per DraftKings Sportsbook, the Big 12 baseball tournament odds are
That's
out.
a great way to start the segment. DraftKings.
Yeah. Why not? We'll talk Brendan Sorsby later. Don't worry. But Big 12 baseball tournament odds, Trent. Where do you think Tech fits in the 12 teams, even as Tech being the 12 seed? Where do you think they are?
I bet they put us at 10.
10 is correct.
All right.
Behind Baylor, who's the 8th seed. Utah's the bottom at 80-1 odds. BYU, the team you played tonight, is 60-1. Texas Tech 45-1. So that makes me say Texas Tech's the favorite tonight.
Yeah.
If you're going off of that. So they think Texas Tech's going to win this evening. But, still a long shot. Baylor 30-1, K-State 22-1, TCU's 13-1. And then it gets into the real contenders. Arizona State at 6-1, Cincy 6-1, Oklahoma State 6-1. UCF third on the list at 4.5-1. Kansas plus 380, which is 3.8-1, and then West Virginia plus 320 as the favorite. And a lot of these tournament settings have to do with pitching, and
Right.
I think West Virginia's got the best pitching, so that's why they would be there at the top. All right, so you go full on Lloyd Christmas, and so you're saying there's a chance. You a Dumb and Dumber fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was not convincing enough. It's okay.
Well, it's not like
it's one of the greatest cinematic pieces ever, but it's okay.
not like something I have to watch. But
Oh. What's your favorite comedy?
oh gosh,
I got to figure out what's
I'm
going
trying
on.
to. Movies are so hard to rank as favorite because there's so many
There are a lot of them,
type things. So
but
going through,
nothing's just like, okay, I always stop on that one.
yeah.
Not
But
that we,
I'm trying to think what. There's not a lot of comedies that I do just go, oh, I've got to watch that.
it's because you're a serious guy.
I'm I guess old school type Fletch. Fletch is
I have
phenomenal.
not watched that one in a long time. Okay.
But so many of the comedies
Chevy
are
Chase.
rom-coms, and
sure.
that's why I'm like
You are in a household with three
yeah.
women, so or have
yeah, but my
women.
wife, she's a sci-fi
Oh, okay.
more person. She's not the rom-com type person on
Gotcha.
that. So we're usually not tuning in to that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, have you seen? This is almost comedic. Have you seen? You're planning on traveling a little bit more as
Hope so.
as
Hope
you
so. Yeah.
hit the retirement here. TSA has recently done a new post. We're hitting the 20-year mark since TSA launched its confusing 311 liquids rules. Okay, which allows travelers 3.4 ounces of liquid per container, with those containers fitting within one quart-sized clear bag per customer. Okay, confusing enough, but they have recently tried to be funny in a post. I don't know if they're serious or not, but TSA is like saying, because people want to bring like protein shakes or whatever on the plane, but it's got to be less than 3.4 ounces. In a recent social media post, they said, hey, if protein's your concern, just throw a rotisserie chicken in your carry-on bag. Or as many as you can fit in your carry-on bag. Can you imagine if people were carrying on rotisserie chickens in the smell in a plane?
Just pull it out and eat it.
I mean,
right there.
It would actually be, that would be a funny prank. Like, start gnawing on a chicken bone as you're about to take off.
Be a little messy. Bring some napkins and wet wipes with you.
TSA does have a what can I bring tool on their website. Here are some things that you would be surprised maybe that you are allowed to bring onto the plane. Whole watermelons. How are you going to cut it? Can't cut into it. Live lobsters in a clear, sealed, spill-proof container.
Live lobsters.
But you can only have 3.4 ounces of water for that lobster if you're keeping it alive.
May not be live
Yeah,
when
it's
you
probably not
land.
gonna be, it just depends how far. But you can bring a live lobster on it. Live fish in water. Again, it's probably
Yeah.
like goldfish because you can't have too many. I guess you could. You can start with just a little bit of water and then just go get some bottled water and pour it in there if you got some live fish. Frozen breast milk and ice packs in any quantity as long as they're fully frozen at screening. Whole pies and cakes.
Okay.
I really think I'm going to do
work.
this on a. I think I'm going to do one of these on a flight. Like, just bring a whole pie with me
with your rotisserie chicken. Then you had dessert.
This would be a lot of fun, just to see the looks on people's faces.
It'd be interesting to see if the agents actually let you go, if they know the rules of what you can get through or not.
This is literally on their website.
Pull out the website. Nope, I can go.
I will pull up the website. This is on your site, man. Let me have my pie. What if the pie is a little too runny? Like, what if it's like a chocolate pie that's too liquidy?
Yeah,
like,
it's melted a little bit. And
cremated remains in a screenable container.
Okay.
And you can also bring bowling balls and bowling pins onto the plane if you want to. So these are all things that are listed.
Those seem like they could be used as weapons.
I would think so. That seems like that would be...
Not allow something like that.
It's a giant stone that you could just conk someone in the head with. So, of course, Trent's the one that said it could be used as a weapon first. So, if anybody's going on a do not fly list, Trent Hilliard is who you're looking for.
I would rather travel by driving anyway.
You're not a plane guy?
I mean, it's okay. But nowadays, with all the check-in and to get there early and all that type of stuff, unless you're going across country, it's almost better just to drive.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So yeah, I'm a drive guy, of course. My family and we've done that most of the time just because it was cheaper and
that's
education.
How we are.
Salary didn't necessarily pay for all that stuff.
Word.
So we've made the drive from Destin, Florida to Lubbock, Texas in one day with the family. And I said, get up early, let's go.
That's a trek.
And then we get to Dallas, and we're like, hey, we're close enough. Let's keep on going.
I know, yeah.
We can roll in. So it was about a 19, 20-hour drive.
That's significant.
About Snyder, the car shut down at 2 a.m. and decided it was enough.
All right.
And we pulled over for a little bit, let it rest, started it back up, and got on in. So,
yeah. Lucas shared with me, yes, I don't know what sports book that is, but Tech is a 1.5 run favorite.
Do you see the over-under on runs scored in the game?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
14.5. Seems about right for a Texas Tech baseball game.
Yeah.
Are you taking the over or the under?
I would take the under on a game one.
But Tech doesn't have their ace.
Yeah, who is our ace, though?
That's a great question. Jason Ranieri has been your Friday night guy, but he got he's currently serving a suspension.
Yeah, that's just so ludicrous. Not the first time that's happened to us.
Johnny Lowe is going to start tonight for the Red Raiders.
And that's what will be interesting is how many guys do you bring in? Do you play it as we're just trying to win this one and we'll figure out the rest later? Or
you know what? You said a game one, but this is on a Tuesday, so BYU won't be throwing their ace because he threw last Thursday, most likely. So there could be some runs. All right, bring in thoughts, comments, questions. We'll read a few more of yours. Talk some Brendan Sorsby. Coming up, this is The Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is The Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Tuesday afternoon, The Bottom Line. 100.7 The Score, the 100.7 The Score mobile app. He's Trent Hilliard. I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas right across the way. Okay, I saw something we've got the SEC baseball tournament going on. Missouri just beat number 17 Ole Miss. Happy day for Lucas. I saw something that was extremely weird to me. Did you happen to see what was behind home plate?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I'm going to try to find this. Because this is one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Oh, I don't think it's going to show it. Dadgummit. Anyway, they've got two doors right behind home plate. Okay, that's kind of weird. These are glass doors behind home plate at this ballpark. Do they play this in Hoover? I don't know where they play the SEC tournament. Is it in Hoover, Alabama? I just thought That's weird. It'll pop back up again. But I'm sure there's plexiglass. I'm sure they've been pelted plenty of times. But really weird looking, just a strange look for a stadium. Anyway, there's my distraction. Now let's get
you wouldn't think it'd be a good backdrop with the ball coming out from behind there. You would think it would. Yeah. Yeah. Even plexiglass or whatever would.
It looks like they've got like some sort of blue or whatever that matches the walls.
Yeah.
With the glass, but anyway, let's hit our question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
All right, continuing the theme here. This is a really simple one. Will Texas Tech have Brendan Sorsby play behind center in any games this season? See if anybody's feelings have changed on this, because mine keep flip-flopping.
Yeah, mine do too. And I'm with no.
No?
I'm with no right now.
Okay.
I always felt positive, yes, and now I'm
okay.
with the new stuff, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's
the new stuff seems like but I think it's going to be a battle, and NCAA is going to stand firm in the you bet on your team, you're done.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to say no.
Fair enough. Lucas?
I'm going to be just as short as Trent, and I'm going to say no.
Okay. I was curious because mine, see, there's the doors. It's really weird.
That is.
I don't know why they're there. Mine's flipped back over to the yes.
All right.
And not by a lot. It's always hovered around 50%. It's always like, I think people that speak in absolutes of this absolutely won't happen or this absolutely will happen, you don't know any more than the rest of us.
No.
Again, this is just so different. Because, yes, we have precedents set in the past, but it's just so different of a case than anything we've had. And we've never had the timing of this is different. We've never had a marquee athlete to the level of Brendan Sorsby be involved with it, and we've never had the fight back that is obviously coming from Brendan Sorsby's camp. So all of it's so different. No one knows what's going to happen besides maybe Brendan Sorsby and the NCAA if Sorsby's just fighting this for the NFL to save face there or anything like that. But I don't believe that's the case with what is out there in the public currently. But I lean towards yes, and this time last week I'd have said no. I'm kind of on the no side of things, but it does seem like there's enough there. The lawyers that he's using and the success that they've had against the NCAA in the past, I think there will be a settlement. I think he ends up getting 4 games suspension, and he will be playing by game number 5 of next season. One thing we haven't talked about is Will Hammond and the news that, we barely mention it. What does that look like? If Hammond, in the report from Heather Dinich yesterday, says he could be back as early as game number 2, but he could be cleared for all football activities August 21st. So that leads you to believe if they really wanted him to, he could play game number 1.
Right.
If that's the case. If Hammond starts game 1 or 2 of the season next year, what does that all look like if you do have Brendan Sorsby back?
Yeah, that's a whole nother dynamic that again, that coaching staff's having to deal with.
That's a lot to handle.
Is what happens when your $5 million quarterback comes back that you only got because Will Hammond wasn't going to be healthy for the first part of the year, and if he's full on health, then you're probably not having to go get this guy, and so now you did. Will's out there. You thought, what do you do? if anybody can pull it off in that type of situation, then I think Joey McGuire can, because he's such a player's coach. He's such a relationships guy, and but the flip side of that is those relationships. Do they get severed when a guy like that comes back? Now he's playing.
And
he's playing over the guy
that's the danger. Yeah.
That you've rallied around and has earned that spot, or is it just pressure because of the money investment? And my goodness, there's so many different angles that come into
Absolutely.
this that's unprecedented at this level, and it's a crazy situation that just seems to just get more and more crazy as things evolve.
Bobby Hot Dog says, my money's on Sorsby playing over half the season, over under 6.5 games. See what I did there? We do see it, Bobby Hot Dogs. So we just answered that. I am over, and they're under. Another texter says, I don't think it affects the Tech public perception one bit. If anything, it helps in recruiting because we stood up by our guy when we didn't have to. The heck with other fan bases and schools that don't like it. I don't give a single care. They're haters and anyone competing against them anyway. Okay. User H Cop here. He lives, or she lives to disagree with us. The NCAA profits from sports betting sites? How much? Seems like a vague statement. Do you live in a cave? Have you watched any sports? Maybe that's why your takes are the worst of anybody on here, because you don't watch any sports at all. Just turn on a television, watch a game, and see how much that you have sports betting sites advertising during NCAA games. That has to be approved, There are things that cannot be advertised during NCAA games. And that was one of them for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
For a really long time, you couldn't have gambling promoted. But it's allowed now. It is a vague statement, because I don't know how much they're making, but I know it's helping the NCAA out a lot. I do know that.
Well, and it's one of those things that's, they're not cutting checks to the NCAA.
It's not direct.
Directly.
It's to ESPN, who they're advertising on.
Yeah, ESPN selling the ads, who then is paying for the rights to advertise put on all of these live events and these games and these bowl games and
the
NCAA, championship and everything. So, it's
and
NCAA is benefiting tremendously.
And it's not just ESPN. The NCAA makes 85% of their entire year's profit off of the NCAA tournament. That's where they make the majority of it. You go to an NCAA tournament, you look on all of the television ads throughout, there's gambling on those, and that almost goes direct to the NCAA. There's quite a bit there. So, yes, keep living under a rock, whatever you want, but it's pretty simple to see. NCAA is making money, and good money, off of gambling.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is that time for Tell Me I'm Wrong. Part of the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score app. Chois, Trent, and Lucas all with you from the First United Bank studio. All right, Trent, where are you taking us today?
All right. So we'll come back to the Sorsby stuff. And I believe if this happened before NIL, that we wouldn't be fighting as Texas Tech wouldn't be fighting the suspension, but they are because of the financial investment that you already have made in that. And so I think that the big fight is due to the investment financially that you have in Sorsby. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. I think a part of this does come from Joey McGuire, and he's such a player's guy and wants to back up this player that he likes. Then part of it is that we've talked about your best chance at winning a national championship this year is with Brendan Sorsby at quarterback. Right. But I think the biggest part of it is exactly what you're saying, in that you have donors, and very influential donors that happen to be on your board of regents, that want to push for this fight. No, I don't know. I haven't heard them say this publicly, but it's a guess that they want to push for this fight because they have invested fiscally in your quarterback, and they also want to win football games. So I think that's part of it, but if we're doing this 5 years ago, and other circumstances are the same, like the advertising with the NCAA and all that, yeah, I'm guessing that there's not as much fight to hold up on and push back against the NCAA.
I agree. Lucas?
I it's hard to disagree with what you said. Also going with what Chois said, I think NIL does have a lot to do with it, but McGuire as a person wants everybody that has committed to Tech or signed to Tech to have the opportunity to play for Tech. And I think McGuire and Sorsby's corner doing the best that he can to get Sorsby on the field for Tech is also a big deal for the program. So, but like the question was, I think the NIL and the money definitely have a big factor in the fight to get Sorsby on the field as soon as possible.
Yep. I think second on the list, I mean, I don't know if it's McGuire and taking up for his players, or I think second on the list is you tasted success last year.
Yes.
You tasted that success, and it only makes you want more. Because, dang it felt amazing to get to the Orange Bowl. It felt amazing to win a Big 12 championship. Those things were awesome. We'll never trade those memories. But also, as Bob Knight would say, the I don't remember what word he used, but it chaps my butt a lot more to lose games than I do get enjoyment from winning games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the loss in the Orange Bowl only makes you want to get to that point and win that game next year. So if Brendan Sorsby's the best opportunity, because I think Will Hammond can be your quarterback and you can get right back to where you were last year. I think you can do the exact same thing you did last year at 11-1, because this team is that good and you're still loaded with talent. But if we're talking about chances at taking the big next step and winning a national title, doing what you need to there, Brendan Sorsby gives you the best opportunity for that. And I think that's another big reason why they're investing in him a second time and trying to make sure he's your quarterback this year.
And I think Will Hammond could be the guy that could get us there. We don't know what he's going to look like with 10 games under his belt.
Agreed.
And if he's able to come back and stay healthy and play all 10 games, and now he's got all of that, he's going to be a better quarterback than what we've seen, and what we've seen has been a pretty good quarterback.
Sure.
The consistency, the guy we saw at Utah wasn't the same one we saw at Arizona State.
He was a redshirt freshman last year.
Right. So you go, hey, you get all those games and get going. He definitely has the tools and things to do, and he's only going to get better. And so if he's gets that opportunity and stays healthy and does that, then I think that he can take us to the next step. We're trying to get the next 3 steps and get on. So that remains to be seen. But yeah, I definitely think that he'll be able to do it. But looking at it right now, yeah, Sorsby's going to give us that best opportunity because he's already at that level and already been there and performed at that high rate.
El Jefe says, you're already wrong because Texas Tech isn't fighting the NCAA. Sorsby is. Maybe semantics, but it's still an accurate distinction. Sorsby is with the full backing of Texas Tech. I'm not sure what my understanding of the rule is Texas Tech can support him financially through this, meaning if Texas Tech spends money on lawyers, that is allowed. So I haven't seen the paperwork, El Jefe, but my understanding is Texas Tech can do it, and by not cutting ties with Brendan Sorsby, they are supporting him.
Well, and we immediately have appealed for his, we declared him ineligible, but immediately appeared to get his eligibility back.
So yeah, I get what you're saying, El Jefe, but I also think you can look at this as Texas Tech is absolutely fighting the NCAA by supporting Brendan Sorsby. Now, they may not be the ones actively, in the trenches on it, but if Texas Tech was ready to move on from Brendan Sorsby, they would have. This text, what's going on with Momo, I think you say his name, Faye? Are we getting him? So Faye is one that's been, talked about on message boards and chatted about recently. He's the big guy, I don't remember, 6'9", I think, out of European League. I still believe Texas Tech's heavily in the mix, if not already going to get Momo Faye. I think what might be the holdup here is he's finishing out his league that he's in. It's crazy. He's a professional right now.
Yeah.
It's not the NBA, but he's a professional overseas. I think he's finishing out that league. There's a lot of thought that there's some pretty good upside here.
He was here on campus a couple of weeks ago, though, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I believe he was one of the ones that was on campus.
North Carolina is also making a really strong push on him.
It sounded like North Carolina had him locked up a couple of weeks ago, but then Tech.
I think St. John's is in the mix as well, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So.
From my understanding, Texas Tech is the front runner here, and it's all but done. But maybe we're just waiting on an announcement for when this league is over. Maybe not. Maybe there's ways out of stuff, but I would, if I'm guessing at it or predicting it, I would guess that Momo Faye will be part of Texas Tech's roster next year. We'll see.
We should have some money freed up if
Christian Anderson
stays in the NBA draft pools, and
it feels like it's trending that way too.
And that could be some, hey, wait here, and then we've got this extra money or whatever. So I can't imagine us having to pay for Momo and Christian. That's a lot of money if both of them end up back here from on top of what you've already paid the guys. So, but we need a big. We need a big badly.
All right, y'all continue to bring in some thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll read a few more of those and bring you our most interesting facts of the day next on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is time for the most interesting facts of the day, brought to you by Dos Equis, the most interesting man in the world. Alongside Trent Hilliard, I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas White across the way. Start off our factage with Trent. Did you know our skeletal system regenerates every decade through a process called remodeling?
I did not know that.
It's a constant process where damaged bone tissue is broken down and replaced by new, healthy bone tissue.
In every decade that happens?
It says, over. It's a constant process, but over every decade or so it works out.
I've been remodeled almost 6 times then. That's good.
That's good, yes. Yeah, that's a good thing. Trent, did you know Victor Wembanyama passed Lou Alcindor as the youngest player with 40 points and 20 rebounds in a playoff game last night?
It's a pretty good one to get.
Wemby, 22 years and 134 days. Lou Alcindor, who eventually became Kareem, 22 years, 352 days old. So,
and I would put Kareem as number 3 on my GOAT list.
He doesn't get mentioned enough.
No, he does not.
I mean, for the longest time, he was the NBA's all-time leading scorer. Who's 2?
LeBron.
Okay. I'm willing to concede LeBron is 2 for always, but I can definitely hear Kareem being 3.
Reestablished. I mean, the whole position, the sky hook. Of course, going back to college, that they outlawed the dunk.
Oh yeah,
because of him. So dominant. So many places changed roles as he got older, but still was phenomenal. A great mentor for others.
Yep.
And great acting skills in Airplane. So there you go.
Is that your favorite comedy? There's Airplane right there.
It's pretty good.
That's
it's
a good
pretty
one.
Good one.
That's a good one. Trent, did you know 96% of homes in the U.S. have a bottle of ketchup?
That's good.
That makes sense.
Now,
what's going on with the other 4%?
A bottle or just have ketchup?
They just ran out and didn't go to the store yet.
Says a bottle, yeah.
Okay. But most of the time, I just get extra Chick-fil-A packets.
Is that what you go with?
And have them
so
there.
You're in the 4% that doesn't have a bottle.
I think we may have a bottle of ketchup. My wife likes to use it.
Okay.
Now, do you refrigerate or not refrigerate your ketchup?
Refrigerate that. Don't refrigerate the extra packets.
And there you go.
That's where
That's what we've got.
I mean, it's weird. They do, like, you go to Europe, they don't refrigerate hardly anything. But, I don't know. Trent, did you know up until 2018, stores in Oklahoma were required to sell craft beer at room temperature? It could not be refrigerated.
No, did not know that. That's
weird. Who's buying it? I mean, I guess it says stores, so I guess bars could still sell it refrigerated or cold, but wow.
Huh.
Trent, did you know roughly all of the motels in the U.S. are owned by people of Indian descent? Supposedly 1/3 of motels are owned by someone with the last name Patel.
There you go.
That's crazy. That's wild. I mean, there are not very many Indian last names out there, for being real. I did learn a lot from, I got an Indian buddy, guy that his name is Jeffries. He grew up first, I don't know, 7 or 8 years of his life in India. Apparently there's, I hope I'm getting the geography. I think the south part of India is primarily Hindu, but there's actually a pretty good chunk of Christian influence in India as well. And so people have either Hindu names like Patel, or they have a Christian last name, which is usually a Bible name, like his is Thomas. So I've learned quite a bit on that. But motels owned by people of Indian descent, not super surprised at that.
No.
Kind of funny. And Trent, did you know the narwhal adds a layer to its tusk each year? These layers offer insight to both their age and the conditions in which they lived, such as level of pollution, temperature levels, and even their diet. There you go. So go hug a narwhal today.
Very interesting facts on the interesting facts of the day.
That's what they're for.
Yep.
El Jefe responds, said, that's fine, but if we're going to do this, let's be accurate about it. Texas Tech hasn't done anything wrong. I don't think we were claiming they have. Just change it to why Texas Tech wants Sorsby reinstated. Also, at this point in the process, Tech hasn't invested monetarily, relatively speaking. Tech athletes get paid monthly, and he hasn't even been here that long. He's been here since December. This stuff didn't come out until May, so I don't know what exactly the monetary investment is. I've heard numbers that are still pretty large.
Yeah, I've heard a $2 million bonus.
That's what I've heard
signing,
too. So if that's the case, it's still a pretty large amount that he's got invested into him. And honestly, $2 million would be about right if that's a monthly investment. If he's been here since December and he's only here 1 year till next December, then that would actually line out for about the amount of payments he should have. But again, not trying to say anything inaccurate. Yes, some stuff can get lost in the translation there, especially when we're talking about lawyers and legal stuff. We're sports guys, we're sports fans. I can sit here and chat about cover two at times. I can and talk about zone defenses. I can talk about lots of stuff, but when we get into law territory, which is what so much of this is, we're guessing at it. We're reading what we see on ESPN, and we're going off of what we're told by others. So I can guess at a lot of stuff, but don't take anything I'm saying with.
And I think he is accurate that Tech is kind of distanced itself as far as that part of it.
Yeah.
And the lawyers and things, at least looking at it just from the outside. So.
Yeah,
But I'm sure they're heavily involved with.
With any bit of help they can provide. And it seems like that's the case. They are trying to support their student athlete here. Again, they could have chosen to cut ties, moved on, said, hey, we've got our quarterbacks elsewhere. This is not where we want to go, but they've decided to go this route. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's where they are. This one says, we know if people are looking for a reason to hate Tech, they're going to find one. But I think Tech has handled this situation about as good as you could have. They're coming off as a school and program that were blindsided by this but didn't just cut ties. They are hiding this. I think that's supposed to say aren't hiding this or running from it. They're working with the NCAA while also giving the young man all the help he needs. Unless something were to come out and they knew and tried to hide it until it was leaked, I don't see how Tech comes out of this with any negativity. This has been a masterclass on how to handle this kind of situation.
It's pretty accurate. They've done it as best you can. It's not a good situation, and people are going to slant it however they want to. A lot of them will slant it against you because you're the new kid on the block.
Fully expect Texas Tech, and if Brendan Sorsby plays, expect the signs, expect the boos, expect the chants. Every bit of it will rain down on Texas Tech. And the first step of something wrong on the field, you'll get made fun of and you'll get taunted for it by fan bases. So if Brendan Sorsby plays, you'll have a giant target. That's if he plays. But that's college sports in general. I've seen it plenty of times in different situations. This is a unique one, but a lot has come out in the last couple days. We still don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Coming weeks, maybe we learn a little bit more. But we really have a month and a half until we really have a good idea of where we're going to be at. Trent, have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Do it again soon. It has been the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.